explaining Gantt charts to project teams can be difficult at the best of times. But if I could show you a way where you could change this into something like this, would you be interested? On this video, I'll show you how to do that. To access the Team Planner function in Microsoft Project, go to the View tab and then under Resource Views, select Team Planner and simply Team Planner. And here you'll see that you're given a whole list of your tasks in the bottom panel here, which can be adjusted, and then your corresponding resources there on the left-hand side of the screen. And it's here where we can, almost in a similar manner that we would do in Microsoft Outlook, we can drag tasks and assign them to the appropriate resource. You can do that by dragging and releasing the mouse above the resource. Or you can do this by choosing a time frame against the resource and making that assignment like so. The Team Planner mode will also alert you to when there are situations where you over-allocate. You can see that here by some of the red outlines shown in the Team Planner view, as well as the little red man that symbolizes an over-allocation. So we might undo that. Another thing to be mindful of is where tasks are already linked, the Team Planner will not allow you to get in there and break those links. So how do we mean? Well, we'll drag this up and give this to Joanne and then assign responsibilities. If we get that to be assigned by Peter at an earlier stage than the assignment we just gave to Joanne, notice what happens. To put assign specific roles and responsibilities, you need to remove the task link. And you can do that by double-clicking on the task here or returning to the Gantt chart view. Another important thing to be mindful of too when we are in the Team Planner mode is when we over-allocate a particular resource and then we get in there and try and fix it ourselves like we might do here. When we return to our Gantt chart, you'll see here that we have now put a constraint in on those tasks. For example, here the task has a task start no earlier constraint. Now we really want to avoid those constraints. So if we were to remove that constraint, we can do that by clicking delete. You'll notice that we still have the little red men, which is the over allocation, and we can reschedule to an available date, and that reschedules without the need of a constraint. Now you see we also have a constraint here for an earlier task that we gave to Stacy. We can click delete on the start date and then we can go about rescheduling that. It's a good idea to avoid as many constraints. Sometimes we need constraints, but at times too many constraints can have an effect on our overall project. Returning to our Team Planner view, there are some neat ways in which we can present this information. For example, you can choose fill colors to distinguish different tasks or different task ownerships, which can be useful. So when you compare a typical Gantt chart view to a Team Planner view, you can see there are some benefits. It's good for project managers who are visually minded to graphically represent their tasks and assignments and workloads to their staff, and can be very beneficial to assign tasks to your team prior to any schedule constraints and linked tasks within your schedule. So a great little tool to take your knowledge of team planning and scheduling to the next level. Thank you for watching. All the very best with your project management. Please subscribe and we look forward to seeing you again soon.